drunk-ass person actually cooked? Well, yes. Nikola Tesla was one of the most enigmatic inventors and scientists in history. Some of his brilliant discoveries were never understood by his contemporaries, while others mysteriously vanished, leaving behind fertile ground for science fiction writers and conspiracy theorists alike. It is also known that the great inventor, born in a small Serbian village, possessed an eccentric personality and a set of unusual habits that only deepened the mystery surrounding his life. He never slept more than 2 hours a day. Nikola Tesla claimed that he never slept more than 2 hours a day. Today, we all know that a full night's rest requires around 8 hours of sleep. But Tesla lived by completely different rules. He spent most of his time in the laboratory, fully immersed in his work. On one occasion, driven by an especially fascinating problem, he worked for 84 hours straight, without feeling any fatigue at all. He drank whiskey every day. Tesla believed that whiskey was an excellent way to prolong life. For a time, he drank it daily, convinced of its benefits. However, when prohibition in the United States began, it seriously interfered with his habit. Later in life, Tesla gave up all drinks entirely, except for water and milk. He was never married. Nikola Tesla was admired by many women, drawn to the mystery and brilliance that surrounded him. Yet he never returned their feelings. Tesla believed that romantic relationships would become too great a distraction from his scientific work. For him, devotion to discovery came above everything else. Tesla lived an extreme and unconventional lifestyle. He slept very little, worked for long, relentless hours, and spent most of his time in laboratories. There was simply no space in his life for ordinary human relationships. He was also known for his unusual habits and psychological quirks, an obsession with cleanliness, strict routines, and a deep need for control over his environment. These traits made emotional closeness difficult. In his youth, Tesla idealized women, seeing them as almost unattainable figures of perfection. But as time passed, his views shifted, and he began to believe that relationships were incompatible with the kind of focus his work demanded. In the end, his true passion was not a person, but his ideas. Science was his purpose, his obsession, and perhaps the only love he ever allowed himself to have.